am playing all the openings because there's nothing going on. Trump has done nothing for 3 weeks except undermine the very basis of the American government. That's it. That's all he's been doing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I am your Heavenly Father, Kevin Williams, and you are my beautiful friends, perhaps family, definitely patrons. Which reminds me, I got a couple of personals to go in here. So Trump did do a press conference today. He spoke for 1 minute, 3 seconds. That's how much he's putting it into it now. He's not even phoning it in. He's texting it in. I didn't get a haircut. I just took a shower for the first time in days. The hot water tank here has been uncooperative, but I think I fixed it. So I'm very blessed. I really am. It's been tough for everybody, almost everybody. So many people. I was watching the Fox News today, and LA is shutting down restaurants locally. The restaurants will still be open, but outside dining is closed. Now, for most of you, you're probably thinking, outside dining, this is November. How can you have, it's still, you can have outside dining here. It doesn't rain. It's very pleasant. I walk around in shorts. It's fine. You can have that. There's I saw on Fox, there was just a very quick comment on Fox. I can probably play it for you. Anybody want to see it? I'll look it up while I'm telling the story here. Anyway, there was a gentleman on Fox, and he was saying, boy, I got myself this restaurant here, and with this new shutdown for 3 weeks, I'm going to have to tell my employees that, like 17 of my employees, I don't want to quote him. Let's see. He was on Brett Baer, and we can find him. Record stock market today, which is weird because that is not what I was told was going to happen. Come on, Brett Baer. There it is, special report. We'll find it. I'll show you that. I'll show a little thing I put together here today. This is what we do, by the way. Usually we have some sort of format going on, unless it's what we call spilling covfefe. We do that in the morning sometimes. Dr. Leah says, hey, Heavenly Father, I will be ready to do the expose on long-term nursing homes after Biden gets sworn in. Okay. But you know, that's very unlikely going to happen because Giuliani has got things. So that's that. So I don't want to ruin your dreams, your hopes and dreams there, Dr. Howard, but I mean, it's Rudy Giuliani. When has he not come through? My page is loading up for me, kids. While I'm doing that, I will pull up this one, and we'll probably end up with results at the same time. Like I was saying, we usually have some sort of format going on here. It's been a couple of days since we did anything because Trump hasn't done anything for a couple of days. I'm trying to figure out ways to be effective for a couple of things. The Georgia race needs us. Now, I had predicted earlier that the Georgia race was going to split because Americans like what? If you're in the chat room, you can answer me. Hey, Ruth Ann. Hey, Bave. Hey, Allison. Everybody else who's checked in. Stephanie, Chuck, Linda, good to see ya. I talk with the fans here. Kevin Lee Daughter would hate it if I called you guys fans, and I'm hoping she's watching right now because I told her I was going to be broadcasting. The video's going fine. I haven't done it. That's how it's going. So I hate my voice. I hate my voice, guys. Hey, producer Joanna. I think we need to figure out a way to get involved in the Georgia election. There's got to be something we can do for the senators running in the Georgia election. And the difference between Democrats winning both those seats in Georgia and the Republicans winning just one of those seats, night and day. We will have a thriving, working, functional democracy or not. And that's all there is to it. We will go right back. If there's any doubt, remember that Merrick Garland, to go back a step from that, the Supreme Court sat with a vacancy for 11 months. Almost an entire year because, it was just nothing was going to be done. Mitch McConnell said, nope, not taking a look at this Merrick Garland guy, who everyone seemed to agree was a pretty good judge. Nope. Let's see. Here we go. This is what I wanted to find here. This is what I was watching on the Fox here earlier.
Battled today to bar the shutdown.
So it's just been devastating.
This guy. So here's what's going on. To recap, you just joining us. Hey, Phyllis. Sorry. I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. I got multiple things going on, and I'm high as a kite right now on this La Croix, which you guys know I hate. But this is actually cocaine flavor, and there's just a hint of cocaine in here. And since I've never done cocaine before, it's really hitting me. Woo! Still tastes terrible. So I wrote about the La Croix. So sometimes I'll put things up on the Twitter, and I'll say to myself, get taller. And then I do that. And I say to myself, God damn it, Kevin. That's clever. I'm proud of you. I'm too tall. There. Yeah. And like 3 likes. No one pays any attention to it. And then I write something about La Croix being terrible, and like 300 people respond to me, trying to tell me flavors that are good. And they're like, oh no, tangerine is really, really spectacular. You should try tangerine. Yeah, gotcha. Tangerine, huh? There's my iced tea. They are all bad. There's a funny tweet from a couple of years ago talking about La Croix, but I'm not going to get into it right now. I'd have to find it. And I'm already trying to find like 8 things at once. Let's first finish up what I was trying to say about 20 minutes ago before you guys so rudely interrupted my thought pattern with my thoughts. So if you want to be in the chat room, that chat room is just all the chats put together. So if you're on Facebook and you chat, it goes there. If you're on Twitch, it goes there. Periscope, Twitter, see, that's so you guys get the idea. The actual best chat room, the fastest chat room is YouTube, which has like a 2-3 second delay tonight. It's very, very fast. So I say something and you guys can react to it within seconds. Oh yeah, that was what do Americans believe in more than anything else? We'll come back to that. We're just going to jump all over the place here tonight. This is Kinetic Father. We'll see the people on YouTube will be able to answer this question very quickly. What do Americans care about more in elections than anything else? That's the question. Oh wait, is YouTube delayed? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, YouTube's about 4-second delay. You guys don't remember? I've said this like 18 times. You people are all pathetic. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you all, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Yes, the answer is sex. American voters care about sex more than anything. Also, fairness. Fairness in elections. And then the question would be, well, what does that mean? Well, what they're going to do is people who aren't Democrat or Republican, which, by the way, is the majority of the peoples, are just like, I'm going to do my civic duty. I don't really know this much about I know that Democrats are socialists, and I know that the Republicans are Nazis, but I feel like I should vote. So they're going to go in the voting booth, and they're going to think, well, there's 2. I don't really care that much one way or the other. They're all terrible. I'll just split my vote down the middle. Now, that would then beg the question to a thinking person, hold on a second, Kevin Lee. If those people are splitting their vote, doesn't that make their vote mathematically irrelevant? To which I will say, shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up! So I'm worried about the vote. In Atlanta. And I think we can come up with a way to make a difference. I know some of you did phone calling and stuff like that. I think that helps. There are so many scenarios right now. Trump is so upset, which we'll see later. And his fans, his people in Georgia. Oh, you know what? I think we can watch it. I won't even tell you about it. Anyway, this is what's going on in Los Angeles County. Up till now, you could go ahead and order takeout, or you could order from the restaurant, but you couldn't eat inside. I think some places had indoor dining. That was stopped because, coronavirus. They're seriously cracking down here in Los Angeles. No more outside dining. And the trouble is as you roam around the areas, a lot of places are doing a great job with it. A lot of places, like in Pasadena, where there's a lot of restaurants that have the ability to, in Old Town, you can, maybe downtown, I don't know, it's Pasadena, I don't live there. But as you're driving around, they've closed down lanes of streets. They've probably done this in many cities. They built little structures so you can have many tables. They're spaced apart. And then there'll be a bar where there's like 20 people at a table. And you're just like, what the fuck, guys? You're ruining it for everybody. And as it turns out, they are. Let's watch a little bit of Fox and we'll see what's going on here.
In Los Angeles County, where all outdoor dining will be banned for 3 weeks starting tomorrow, are bracing for financial impact after the California Restaurant Association lost a court battle today to bar the shutdown.
So it's just been devastating.
Did you hear? To bar the shutdown of bars. That's punny. That's where I am right now. There's nobody here. I can't go near Kevin Lee's daughter because for the past day she's been contagious. Not with COVID. She got strep throat. Which is actually funny because she's had a sore throat literally for a couple of months. And she's been, maybe, God, it might be 4 or 5 months now? Even when we were back up in Seattle, which isn't that direction, but what the hell do you guys know? She went to doctors, she went to ENTs there, and they never tested her for strep throat. And she went to a doctor here on Friday and was like, it's been hurting a long time. My tonsils hurt, it all hurts. And they're like, okay, well, we can give you a test for strep throat, but it's probably not strep. It was strep throat. Anyway, antibiotics 1 day. She's already not contagious anymore because she took them at 5 o'clock yesterday, so she's good. But I've had to stay away from her. Now, wait a second, you might ask. Don't you live with Kevin Lee's daughter? I do. Well, how could you possibly not get strep throat if she's had it for a couple of months? Here's the thing. Kevin Lee's daughter is a vegan, and I eat food. So we very rarely share anything. We definitely, every time she says, hey, Dad, would you like some of my La Croix? I say, no. God, what the hell is wrong with you? The tonsils, I guess they don't look too badly or something. Kevin Lee's daughter, if you're watching, come on in and yeah, you can come in. She can come in now. Here we go. But strep is supposed to get worse and worse and worse, and I guess sometimes it just doesn't. Here's the thing about my family. From my mother, we don't know about our grandmother, but from my mother on down, we have what are called paradoxical reactions to drugs and diseases and stuff like that. Stuff happens that isn't supposed to happen normally, so that's what I live with.
Within 24 hours.
There you go. Babe says you can carry strep without even knowing it. That's Canadian strep, though, which is like 60% as painful. There's an exchange rate that you can do, but it's...
Help, though, is on the way.
If all goes well, we could be distributing vaccine.
I think that's too far.
Vaccines are ready.
OWS and our partners have been running not only tabletop exercises, but actual field exercises for the shipment procedures.
In the meantime...
At Random says, I am super susceptible to strep. That is the worst pickup line. Luckily, the bars are all closed, so you're good there. But that's not something you want to share with the next, just a word of advice.
Meantime, business owners in Los Angeles County, where all outdoor dining will be banned for 3 weeks starting tomorrow, are bracing for financial impact after the California Restaurant Association lost a court battle today to bar the shutdown.
So it's just been devastating. Now that we're going to close the outside, we're going to have to tell 11 of our employees, go home. And how are they going to pay their bills?
And if you have plans to hit the bars in Pennsylvania, the
11 of their employees to go home. Now, hold on, folks. Figure out who this guy is, what the restaurant name is.
Today to bar the shutdown.
So it's just been devastating. Now that we're going to close the outside, we're going to have to tell 11 of our employees, go home.
They don't use the name of the restaurant. And by the way, Kevin's daughter said, wait, maybe it's that Cafe on Lemon. I was like, Cafe on, well, it's probably on Lemon Avenue somewhere. I can look that. It's not. That's a B-roll from something else, which is standard. That's not, you do that in the news industry all the time. Lizzie Dog says, Heavenly Father, hey, are you my appendix? Because I don't understand what you do. But this feeling in my stomach makes me want to take you out. Oh. Are you guys doing bad? You guys are doing bad pickup lines now? Okay, maybe we'll just do that tonight. Screw the turkey. You know Trump already did. Got a pardon and $130,000, so that's not bad for a turkey. So Kevin, wait a second. Well, see, okay, so Kevin Lee Brothers in the room, and he's a carrier of strep, are you saying? And always tests positive? However, not biologically related to Kevin Lee daughter, so not helpful in terms of, but that is something that I didn't know. So that's kind of cool. Best pickup lines. Okay, well, you guys do that, and I'll keep monitoring you. Is it Christmas, Kevin? Because you sure are gifted. That's a little bit of what I wanted to tell you about. I'm really that not. I'm that not, especially with wording. So what I did is I figured out, I looked at the guy's name, and I Googled and finally figured out that this guy owns a Mediterranean restaurant out in Monrovia, which isn't that direction, but what the hell do you guys know? And I'll tell you a story about my mom. We're just going to bounce all over the place. Since Kevin Lee Brothers in the room, I want to tell him the story about Mom. So we lived in a house. Pretty good story, huh? So my mother, and I'm about to do her voice, and you'll be like, oh, that's like the weirdest falsetto. Like, nobody sounds like that. But then people who met my mother, they would meet her for the first time, and they would say, oh my God, that is her. How did you... This is what my mother sounded like. Kevin Timothy Williams, your father is... That's my mom's voice, okay? That's not me doing a funny female... That's my mother with a soprano. Not the mafia kind. I can't even remember that. I got to be careful, because if somebody from the mafia, I don't want a visit from Joey Two Fingers DeNono later. You always test positive for strep. Is that? I'm kind of catching what's in the chat room right now. Anyway, so my mother, you could ask her, like, which way is downtown? Oh, it's right there. Well, we need to go to the nursery. Cliff, we need to go to the nursery. And she would always indicate the wrong direction. And then she wanted to go down the hill. They lived on a house on the hill. And she's sitting on the couch, and the living room window looks out down the hill to the village below. Think Grinch. And she says, well, I just need to go down to Albertsons and get some groceries. And I said, Mom, that's where it is. It's down the hill. You can see that way is down the hill. Well, no, we have to go that way. I'm are we going that way to get that way? Just, well, that's the garage. You have to go to the garage to get in the car, and then you go down the hill. I was like, oh, okay. She was the worst person on the planet directionally, but she was correct. There are two sides to every story. And that was one of the rare examples of both sides being correct, because usually no. Wait, Allison tests positive for TB? Larry Williams knew a guy in high school that used to sneeze like, chew. I had a friend in high school that sneezed. I don't know if I could do it anymore, but it was like, ninja, ninja. I don't even know if you guys can hear the high. Higher than that. I can't do that tone. But it was a really high tone, and then cha, like, that sounds like my mom's voice. That was my mom's sneeze. There is no test for sexiness. Excuse me, I'm just gonna blow my nose on camera. Give me a sec. See what I'm saying? Your ninja sneeze made my dog perk up. Yeah. What's your dog's name? A Mantow test is like testing positive for dog, but my daughter actually had collie. I don't get that one, Ruth Ann. Sorry. If my mother and my husband got in a vehicle together without Google Maps, they would never be seen again. Likely. No, they would. What they would do, what I find with my mother, she would be like, well, no, we just passed the Dairy Queen. And what are you talking about? Well, it's by the Dairy Queen. I'm like, Mom, that was like 4 Dairy Queens ago. You're not in your city anymore. This is Tacoma. They also have Dairy Queens. That is not your Dairy. Well, it looks like my Dairy Queen. I know it's got the same logo. I don't know why they all look the same. It was never her fault. So one time, I know you've sent pitch, but I just want to see the name, Lizzie. One time, I forgot what story I was going to tell. Anyway, so let's go back to the guy, Joey here.
Financial impact after the California Restaurant Association lost a court battle today to bar the shutdown.
So it's just been devastating. Now that we're going to close the outside, we're going to have to tell 11 of our employees, go home.
Terrible. I feel badly for Joey here. So I did find the website for the place and looked. It's about 25 minutes from me. And I feel like I want to go out there and support local businesses. I don't really have the resources to do that, I know. But I am blessed in many ways. And I'm doing okay. I'm not hurting for food. I have a place to live. I have this studio thing that I get to speak to you guys from. Many of you guys are supporting me in these ridiculous endeavors that we do. And I appreciate that. I appreciate every dime because it's a very tight budget and I use every dime. For example, when the internet wasn't working for us and you guys, like 3 or 4 of you just came up with like, oh, here's $35 a month for internet. Or that's amazing. And I appreciate that. I feel like I want to go to this guy's restaurant and just get some Mediterranean food, lamb chops. It's just like lamb there, lamb leg hocks, whatever. I don't know what parts of the lamb, but I love lamb. And Mediterranean restaurants always have lamb, and they have what's it called, Slovakia, and there's grape wraps, lots of things with grapes at Mediterranean. Anyway, he's got a Mediterranean restaurant out there in Monrovia, so I might go check it. But anyway, I just wrote to him and I said, hey, I saw you on Fox. And if I'm out there, I'll try and do some takeout. I wish you the best. And I cannot believe the government isn't helping. People I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't have amazing patrons people that were willing to help out, I would probably still be okay. But I have some resources to begin with. I mean, talk about privilege. I have not worked since the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, we'll say that. I had a couple of days right at the very, very beginning, but then everything was shut down. I'm in show business, so everything just shut. Boom. Things have kind of started up again. I've had a few auditions. You know about that? I just had an audition for a real show, a decent part that was shooting in another city. Today we found out that I was still up for that part. Today we found out they'd canceled it. Not the show. They just canceled that part of the shoot. They're not shooting anymore because in California and everywhere, I think COVID is going nuts. So baklava is wonderful. So I don't know. We don't know if the show is ever going to shoot that episode again, or if the episode's just canceled, or it's a popular show. I can't tell you what it is, but the show will continue on. They'll figure out a way to do it. But especially if shows involve travel, like this is a show that shoots most of the stuff in LA, like most shows do, or maybe they shoot most of their stuff in Vancouver, and then they pick up other shots in other cities. Like if your show is about Cleveland, you do some exterior shots in Cleveland. That's just typically what you do. Like Grey's Anatomy. I was on Grey's Anatomy years ago, and it was in Seattle. I was in Seattle. They shoot most of the episodes at... I should know the name of the hospital. I've seen a couple of episodes. I'm hoping it's just postponed. They're hoping it's just postponed, but for now, it's canceled. And they'll change the part from... Well, I don't want to get into it, but... Anyway, what's that? What I was saying, the point of that story is I appreciate everybody who contributes to this, either financially or just coming in the chat room or just telling people about it or whatever. You guys are a blessing beyond my deservation. Oh, I was a valet on an episode called Where the Boys Are. And then I did that a couple, well, I'll tell you, I don't know. I want to get into the turkey pardon, but there's a couple of Grey's Anatomy stories I could tell you that are kind of cute. I not only play a valet, I also play Patrick Dempsey. But that's another story. So anyway, I wrote to this guy, and like an hour later, he emailed me back. And he just said, "Thank you, Kevin. This is devastating." And I cannot... It's just unfathomable to me that we have a $23, $24, $25 trillion debt. Like, it's unfathomable that I don't even know what the U.S. debt is right now. Let's find out together, shall we? Here we go. Or YS debt clock. I've had trouble with my fingers today. U.S. debt clock. That looks right. And national debt clock. There we go. U.S. national debt. Thinking. It's just given up. 27. 27. By the way, the federal budget deficit, the official, that's twice as high under Trump than any other president ever. And part of that has to do with the Cove. But part of that is just complete mismanagement. Forget about the deficit, Republicans, national debt. We don't care. Here's the point. We have $27 trillion in debt, and we can't come up with a few bucks for some unemployed restaurant workers. We can't come up with some more PPP, which we know worked. The PPP saved 50 million jobs. Does that mean that those 50 million jobs are saved? No. That means, for example, this restaurant was shut down for a couple of months and his employees kept getting paid. It was basically a direct unemployment check, so the states didn't have to deal with it. Now, all of the burden is on the states. And you know who generates most of things in your areas? It's the states. It's the property tax. That's where the money comes from. The money for the schools, it's the states. The money for your local police, the fire departments, it's the states. It's the cities. This is the cash percolates up in this country. The big money comes from the big rich people or the small rich people. And that's all federal stuff. But all the other stuff, your property tax, your mortgage, all that stuff, that pays for your services. Unless you're a red state, then you're just sucking off that federal teat all the time. But that's... Did you guys see that chart? I'll find that chart. It's like, if anyone knows what chart I'm talking about, you're going to know. This is what I was thinking about. Nope, I can't show you that. Let's go here. This is what I was thinking about. Remember, I don't know, what was it, like 4 years ago when we had the election?
If Biden wins, you're going to have a stock market collapse, the likes of which you've never had. You will have a collapse.
You'll have a stock market crash, the likes of which nobody in this country has ever seen before. The likes of 1929 or worse.
If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay. Just about an hour into today's trading session, the markets continue to digest the news of Biden's cabinet appointees, especially the expected announcement of Janet Yellen as Treasury Secretary. We are seeing a record intraday high for the Dow. We've just stepped off that level, about 4 points away from Dow 30,000.
That means depression, right?
All sectors are higher in the S&P 500. Energy is up another 4.2% in today.
Because of the depression, that more people use more energy in a depression because they're at home, because they don't have jobs. That's why energy's up. Also, stock market at 30,000. It's never done before. Trump will tell us that later. Just such idiocy. There was a point where it mattered what was said. We steered slightly out of that. When Sarah Palin was VP, a VP candidate, I should say. And it was, the death panels and stuff like that. And people were like, no. And then they lost, and then Romney came on, and it was still sort of near reality. Trump has just completely steered. We're done. We're done with reality. It has nothing to do with reality. And X percentage of the population believe it. Hey, Chris Wilson. It's a nut show. Let's, speaking of nut shows, here's, look. Is producer Rich in the show? Because I want to back it up because Trump comes out and does completely unnecessary mic touch on the turkey.
Well, thank you very much, please.
There it is.
And I just want to
Puts it right back to where it was. Every time. Every goddamn time.
congratulate everybody. The Dow Jones Industrial Average just broke for the first time in history 30,000. It's now, that's good. It's great for jobs. And
that's good. Thank you. That's good. He's got all the words.
It's good for everything. And this is the 9th time that we set a record.
Wait, it's good for what?
It's now, that's good. It's great for jobs, and it's good for everything.
The stock market being high is not great for jobs.
And this is the 9th time.
I mean, it can be. They're two distinct, separate things. Is the stock market going up good? Yes. Yeah, that's very good. Stock market's going up good, especially if you own stocks. That's good. Does it make the food lines shorter? No. If you guys have seen any of the images of the food lines around the country right now, especially for people that just want to have enough to fucking eat on Thanksgiving with their families. And our government isn't even sitting there doing nothing. They're not even sitting there. Could be solved like that. Hey, Mitch McConnell, we've got this bill that we passed, the HEROES Act. It's going to take care of the citizens. It's going to take care of the small business. It's going to take care of the states and the cities. It's got nothing to do with red and blue. There's nothing in there that says California gets all this money and Texas gets nothing. Everybody gets money. We need to do this. We're the richest country in the history of the planet. How about we get this money out there? Here's $4 trillion. So Trump and Mnuchin said, it's too much. It's too much. What do you mean it's too much? It's for the American people and for the businesses. The engine of our economy, the small business. That's what you always say. Engines of our economy. A lot of people don't know that. They're the engines of our economy. Nope, can't get it done. Okay, we'll compromise. Democrats say we'll compromise all the way down to $2.1 billion. Okay, hey, and then Trump is all like, I don't want any part of it. Let's get the Supreme Court justice thing done. That's the important thing for the American people. Meanwhile, people starving. Not having enough food lines at the food bank. I don't want any of the party. A couple days later, because he's starting to get criticized on Fox. Oh, no. I say go higher. Give him 40 billion. Give him 40 bazillion billions. Give him hundreds of thousands of millions. So negotiations begin again. And Nancy's like, yeah, sounds good. Let's go big. Mitch McConnell, 500 billion. 4 trillion, 500 billion. Okay. 2 trillion, 500 billion. Oh, okay. Oh, we're gone. My hand went away. You can't see it, but this is Mitch over here, and he went away. He went home for Christmas. You have to go to the garage first to get to home. So that's where Mitch went. So it was like 2.1 billion, 500 million. I just realized I don't have a Mitch impression at all. Anyway, so then Mitch was like, excuse me. I can't hear Mitch McConnell's voice in my head. It's like, maybe he's Irish. Excuse me, just want to get by. You had to go to the garage. Then he's gone. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, Nancy, get your tongue out of your mouth. Back to Trump.
Time that we set a record during the course of 2020, and it's the 48th time that we've set the record during the Trump administration, and there's never been anything like that. So I just want to
That is untrue. The stock market tripled under the last Biden administration. So that was very much like that.
Congratulate everybody that worked so hard in the White House, but maybe most importantly, the people of our country. It's a tremendous achievement. The First Lady and I are thrilled to welcome you all to the beautiful Rose Garden, where the First Lady actually worked very hard on renovating it. It was 61 years. It was in rough shape.
So I can hear Mitch's voice, but I only hear Jon Stewart's impression of Mitch's voice. That's what I hear. Yep. Tippy Turtle. Do you guys remember Tippy Turtle? Hey, Tippy Turtle. Hey, Tippy Turtle. What you gonna do tonight? Think I'll go for a walk, then go home and get drunk. That was an SNL cartoon. Do you guys remember Tippy Turtle? Or is that I'm just making that up in my head?
Very big job, actually, when you go to the wires underground. People have no idea how complex it is, but you've done a fantastic job. Thank you very much. And we're also very happy to have with us my daughter Ivanka and Jared and Theodore, Arabella, Joseph. Thank you very much for coming.
You just say Jared is his daughter?
They like the turkey. Thank you very much. On behalf of the entire Trump family, I want to wish every American...
Oh, now everyone wears masks. Good job, super spreader. Fuck.
A healthy and very happy Thanksgiving. We're here today to continue a beloved annual tradition, the official presidential pardon of a very, very fortunate turkey. Because Thanksgiving is a special day for turkeys. I guess probably for the most part not a very good one when you think about it.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is a very special day for turkeys. Wow. You know what else was special? D-Day. That was a very special day for a lot of Americans. H-Day. Japan, that is a very special day.
About it. The first turkey to dodge the White House dinner table received unofficial clemency when President Abraham Lincoln's son, Tad, begged his father to spare his new friend. For the past 73 years, the National Turkey Federation has presented the national Thanksgiving turkey to the president, starting under President George H.W. Bush. These birds have received a formal pardon every single year. Today it is my honor to present to you this year's lucky bird, corn.
General Flynn. Come on out, General Flynn. He's a fantastic human being. A lot of respect for General Flynn.
And just in case we needed him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. I beat you by like 4 seconds. I didn't know you were going to come there.
Cobb. Corn and cob. That's not too hard to remember, is it?
No, it's really not.
Cobb. Corn, Bush. These birds have received a formal pardon every single year. Today it is my honor to present to you this year's lucky bird, corn, and just in case we needed him, cob. Corn and cob. That's not too hard to remember, is it? These two magnificent gobblers were selected from the official presidential flock of 30 turkeys, some real beauties. They were raised by the chairman of the National Turkey Federation himself, Ron Cardell. Ron, thank you very much, Ron. Please stand up. Great job. Ron, thank you for being here, and your family, beautiful family, thank you very much for...
This is nice. I like this tradition. I like the White House turkey pardon. You know, why not? Fun fact from @random. This is going to be fun because it starts with pardon turkeys. Used to go live at Frying Pan Park, which is right behind my sister's house. They never lived that long, unfortunately. I don't know how fun that was @random. God, you carry strep throat. You're extremely susceptible to strep throat, and you talk about turkeys dying like it's fun?
For being here. Appreciate it. Like so many presidential flocks.
I don't remember Larry the Lobster, but we can search for it if you want to. Land shark.
This one started in the great state of Iowa in what can only be described as an act of blatant pandering. And
by the way, I don't know if he's still in the room, but Kevin Lee Brother made a fried turkey a couple of years. Wow. It's a joke in the Thanksgiving circles of the world. But if you've ever had fried turkey, you're like, yes, we need to do fried turkey every year now. Every year. Not good for your heart.
By the way, I love the state of Iowa. These two turkeys sought to win the support of Iowans across...
I have long said that we should be eating more turkey. Turkey is better than chicken. It's certainly better than beef or pork for you. And turkey, by the way, we're already eating a lot of turkey, but they turn it into sandwich meat. So that bologna, salami, or whatever, it's actually turkey. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't. But I have a smoker. I could smoke a turkey. I could smoke a turkey. You're a turkey, Chris Wilson. Nobody hates turkey. Turkey has to be done properly so that it's still moist. And I know everyone hates that word, but turkey must be moist. You know, Subway invented the word savory just so they wouldn't have to say moist on their turkey. I won't be having turkey this year unless I actually go and get a turkey. @random, backing me up with another fun fact. She has turkey sausage patties or whatever she just said. And the, two serving size of 2 patties is like half the calories of 1 pork one. Yeah, I feel good when I get myself a turkey because I'm eating the leftovers for what, let's say 4 months after Thanksgiving. A little cranberry sauce on there. It's just, come on. I mean, that's good stuff. By the way, little secret. Cranberry sauce and sour cream. Boom. You get your sweet, get your savory, little tartness in there, little dry turkey. Good stuff. I have a vegan turkey roast, so no turkey in that to make this year. I actually make them from time to time. They have them at the grocery outlet. You have to go to the garage to get to it. That's actually where Gross Out is. That's the direction of Gross Out. But what the hell do you guys know? Oh, and I'm not allowed to park in the garage. So I have to go that way.
The state by naming themselves corn and...
Yeah, sour cream and cranberry. I'm serious.
Cobb. After today's ceremony, these birds will retire under the care of skilled veterinarians at Iowa State University.
Skilled what? Veterinarians? It's veterinarians, right? Not veterinarians.
The state by naming themselves corn and cob. After today's ceremony, these birds...
Cream cheese and cranberry, also very good, Lizzie. There.
Will retire under the care of skilled veterinarians at Iowa State University, a tremendous...
I missed it.
The care of skilled veterinarians at Iowa State University, a tremendous university in Ames. Once there, people of all ages will be able to visit them and learn about poultry science, veterinary medicine, and...
It's good that people of all ages can visit the turkeys because typically at a university, you don't allow minors, and then anybody over 56, they'll just stop. You can't visit the turkeys anymore. Be gone. Go back to your garage and leave. That way.
The noble American...
It's really somebody wrote this speech to really talk it up. People of all ages will be able to visit these turkeys. They'll be alive. I think probably happy with that. There is poultry science.
American tradition of farming.
The egg colleges and universities are actually feeding this country. the developments that we've done. By the way, just very quickly, genetic research on products, genetically engineered products, not a problem, not a thing. Same crowd as the anti-vaxxers. We absolutely, take it from a guy who grew up in Africa, we 100% need genetically engineered food. We need to raise the output of all our crops if we're going to feed the peoples.
We love our farmers, I'll tell you. And we hope and we know that's going to happen, that corn and cob have a very long, happy, and memorable life. This year, our nation commemorates the 400th anniversary of the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock. After arriving in the New World, the brave men and women of the Mayflower endured a bitter and dangerous winter, very, very dangerous winter. Many were sick, most were starving, and all were praying for a miracle.
Most of them died, dude.
Thankfully, God heard their prayers. From our earliest days, America has always been a story of perseverance and...
What is that? That's not a story. God heard their prayers. Most of them died. What is he talking about? Am I remembering this wrong? Because I'll mix up stories sometimes in my head. And honestly, since the election, my brain has just been off. I just turned it off a little while ago.
Thankfully, God heard their prayers. Endured a bitter and dangerous winter.
Let's go back.
Commemorates the 400th anniversary of the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock. After arriving in the New World, the brave men and women of the Mayflower endured a bitter and dangerous winter, very, very dangerous winter. Many were sick, most were starving, and all were praying for a miracle. Thankfully, God heard their prayers. From our earliest days, America has always been a story of perseverance and triumph, determination and strength, loyalty and faith. This week, in a time that is very unusual, but in so many ways, very, very good, what we've endured and been able to endure.
There's nothing very, very good except for Biden winning the election in 2020. Nothing very, very good. Everything has to be positive. Okay, here's 4 myths that aren't true about the Pilgrims. Okay, they weren't the first Europeans to land in southern New England and interact with native people. We kind of knew that. Most people, according to USA Today, most Pilgrims did not come to the New World seeking religious freedom. All right. Myth that the Pilgrims meant to settle in Virginia, but they were blown off course. No, they actually intended to settle in Plymouth. Okay, here it is. Myth. The Pilgrims and Wampanoags, the Native American tribe, forgive me if I've got that name wrong, came together in November of 1621 for a Thanksgiving feast. There's a lot to unpack with this one, and not just because it forms the basis of our country's Thanksgiving Day story. First, while the Puritans did have days of Thanksgiving, they were literally the opposite of big, fun family feasts. They were usually days of fasting and prayer that would be broken with a larger meal. Edward Winslow, in his writing of the first few years in Plymouth titled Mort's Relation, A Journey of the Pilgrims in Plymouth, does mention a celebration marking the settlement's first successful harvest, probably held around October 1621. That's when Thanksgiving should be in October, like Canadians, because that's when you have your harvest. Given the context, it certainly wasn't a huge deal, and it would later become one in modern America. According to Winslow, despite the fact that the Wampanoags had allowed the Pilgrims to live on their land, provided them with aid, and taught them how to successfully grow native crops, the Wampanoags were not invited to the celebration. They arrived only after the Pilgrims started shooting their guns into the air. Believing themselves to be under attack, the Wampanoags, head Sachem, Massasoit, showed up at the settlement with about 90 warriors expecting war. Instead, they found a celebration and they decided to stay, with their hunters bringing in 5 deer as a contribution. Rather than a happy celebration of camaraderie and partnership, the feast would serve as the basis of traditional Thanksgiving myths. A myth was actually quite a tense affair, fraught with political implications. Okay. So there you go. I'm not sure what the miracle is that he's talking about. I wanted to look up the other thing that I mentioned. This is from a textbook, so I guess we can kind of trust. 1622, harvests were a failure. And the crops that they did grow were stolen by some unfriendly Indians. When the corn supply was exhausted, they had no bread 2 or 3 months, and their entire diet consisted of fish and water. Fishing vessels, blah, blah, blah. Fortunately, the next summer brought a very long drought. This is after 1623, so this is like 3 years of drought and famine. And, okay, so fall harvest in 1623 was another blessing. Not only was it the one of their best crops, it saved Pilgrims from starvation by supplying food, and they learned the art of preparation for winter months. Oh, that's also from Edward Winslow. So, all right. I've been ignoring the chat, guys. Sorry. Because I didn't know if you guys were going to answer that or not. Anyway, from what I remember, a bunch of the Pilgrims died.
That is, God heard their prayer. Here our nation commemorates the 400th anniversary of the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock. After arriving in the New World, the brave men and women of the Mayflower endured a bitter and dangerous winter, very, very dangerous winter. Many were sick, most were starving, and all were praying for a miracle. Thankfully, God heard their prayers.
And the natives heard the gunshots.
Our earliest days, America has always been a story of perseverance and triumph, determination and strength, loyalty and faith. This week, in a time that...
Why would you not mention the natives at that point?
That is very unusual, but in so many ways...
Oh, I haven't seen Dances with Wolves in years. That was a great movie. Gotta watch that again.
Very, very good.
I've reached the age of my life where I've forgotten all the movies, so I can now enjoy them again. It's great. You shouldn't have kids until you're like 50, and then you can watch all the movies with them that you watched before.
What we've endured and been able to endure, with the vaccines now coming out one after another, it's an incredible thing that happened. One of the greatest medical achievements that this...
Chris Wilson says, everyone in Roanoke abandoned the settlement because Uncle Jerry showed up with fruitcake.
Planet has ever seen. But it's time to remember that we live in a great, great country. Achievements that very unusual, but in so many ways very, very good. What we've endured and been able to endure, with the vaccines now coming out one after another, it's an incredible thing that happened. One of the greatest medical achievements that this planet has ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's time to remember that we're
not there yet, and the distribution will be screwed up because it will start under Trump.
Live in a great, great country, the greatest of them all, and there's nothing even close as far as I'm concerned.
I think Sweden, Finland, Norway, Canada, New Zealand, which is #1 in COVID in terms of not having any cases, they locked down. I posted this early on the Twitter here. New Zealand locked down, shutting everything but grocery stores and the cops and fire departments, and they beat COVID. Yesterday, they had 2 cases. 2 cases. We had 154,000, 165,000. Who knows?
Every American can be united in thanksgiving to God for the incredible gifts he has.
I don't know why Americans don't like fruitcake, because Canadians pretty much love fruitcake. Fruitcake with some walnuts inside? Yes, please.
Bestowed upon us the blessings of family, community, and this exceptional, beautiful, and great country. Greater than ever before. During this Thanksgiving, we extend our eternal gratitude to the doctors, nurses, health.
Someone had watched some Obama turkey pardonings earlier, like 8 years in a row of Obama turkey pardons. That's probably a thing on YouTube. Did he brag about his accomplishments? He was pretty funny, right? I remember him making jokes. I think that's why I started liking the turkey pardons, because Obama had a pretty good sense of humor.
Care workers and scientists who have waged the battle against the China virus, and we give thanks for the vaccines and therapies that will soon end the pandemic.
Babe, if your husband's family called him the fruitcake bandit, they were trying to tell you something.
It's just such a tremendous feeling to know that they're coming, and they'll be coming probably starting next week or shortly thereafter. We send our love to every member of the armed forces.
So here we are, kids. To pardon the turkey, I'm going to tell you a little bit about vaccines.
And the law enforcement heroes risking their lives to keep America safe, to keep America great. And as I say, America first. Shouldn't go away from that. America first.
There's a story behind that too, but I'm not going to get into it.
We give thanks to the...
Oh yeah, the China virus. That's. I was listening to this on the radio today, and I was like, of course he had to call it the China virus. You know, the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Priceless freedoms that we've inherited, and we ask God to watch over and protect our nation and its people during this incredible holiday and in all of the years to come. We ask that of God. Once again, Melania and I wish to thank everybody for your incredible courtesies and also wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And now it's time for the moment of...
Bye, Doctor.
Our guests of honor. They've been waiting, and in this case, he's been waiting for this. And bring him out. Look at that beautiful, beautiful bird. Oh, so lucky that...
Am I crazy, or don't they usually do like a male and a female? He keeps talking about them like they're two guys, but typically is it... I don't know. That's just what's in my head. I have no idea if that's reality or not.
It is a lucky bird.
I'm not much of a turkeyologist. I'm sorry. Okay, so turkey? Now I really want to go out and buy some turkey.
Corn, yes, corn.
Corn, I hereby grant you a full pardon.
The fuck is this? Do they do this usually? We gotta watch some Obama after this. Someone has put together a montage of the Obama turkey pardons, but I don't know what this is. What does he think he's doing? Is he blessing? Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. It looks funny.
Thank you, Corn.
Oh, I remember him doing that last year too. I guess they do that, but weird.
What a break. Oh, that's what you are now.
I think he actually touched the turkey. Trump doesn't like things.
Iowa Farm. I knew I liked you for That's great. Beautiful. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, turkey made some noise right on cue. Okay, cool. Any Obama, what is this? 2020, Thanksgiving turkeys arrive in D.C. Oh. Hold on, I gotta get rid of the audio. Because that's somebody's music. Yeah, they're going slow-mo, the turkeys. Okay, that's right, they stay at a hotel. That's nice. Hold on, because we'll do Obama, turkey, and let's see, PBS NewsHour? Yeah, let's find that one.
Hello, everybody. Well, good afternoon. Everybody have a seat. Feel free to keep on gobbling. As you may have heard, for months, there has been a fierce competition between a bunch of turkeys trying their way into the White House. Some of you caught that. Well, today, I can announce that the American people have spoken, and we have two winners.
That was about the election.
Their names are Honest and Abe.
Good choices.
I confess that Honest looks like good eating, but this is a democracy.
Yes, wing their way.
Abe is now a free bird. He is TOTUS, the turkey of the United States.
That's nice.
Yes. Seamus, is he attacking you? Are you okay? My political director is getting pecked by TOTUS. I want to thank the chairman of the National Turkey Federation, Dr. Douglas, as well as farmer Joe Hedden, who personally raised this turkey.
Let's jump ahead to the actual party. Does he give him a cross? Hold on. What happens here? Oh no, he's just putting, okay. Yeah, he's gonna give him a full pardon.
Right. Yes.
Do it with your hand. What's it? This?
Don't interrupt. Power vested in me. You are hereby pardoned.
Gives him a cross. He doesn't do the laying of the hands. He gives him the cross.
He's a natural.
Remember when we would shake hands and stuff? Look at all the touching. That's so unsafe, Obama. That's why they had COVID-19 that year. And he's out of there. Let's see. We do have to watch Trump's press conference today. It'll be quick. And videos, and here we go.
Well, thank you very much, and I just want to congratulate everybody. The stock market, Dow Jones Industrial Average, just hit 30,000, which is the highest in history. We've never broken 30,000, and that's just despite everything that's taken place with the pandemic. I'm very thrilled with what's happened on the vaccine front. That's been...
Well, yeah, it was set to hit 30,000 in February and didn't because of this mismanagement of the pandemic. So, yeah.
Absolutely incredible. It's nothing like that has ever happened medically, and I think people are acknowledging that, and it's having a big effect. But the stock market's just broken 30,000. Never been broken, that number. That's a sacred number.
Yeah, that's the fourth time you've said that now.
30,000.
And it's not a sacred number. It's just a number. It's round.
Nobody thought they'd ever see it.
It's got a lot of zeros, and I'm very close to zero. You know, you guys know how I feel about zeros. Look at Mike Pence, for instance.
That's the 9th time since the beginning of 2020. And it's the 48th time that we've broken records during the Trump administration.
During the Trump administration. Just so bad. He's so bad at everything.
And I just want to congratulate all the people within the administration that work so hard. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the people of our country. Because there are no people like you. Thank you very much, everybody.
I know, and they didn't like you. So you're out. One term, you're done, buddy.
Everybody, thank you.
All right. Now we got to find Tippy Turtle, because we talked about that earlier. Hi, everybody. You're watching the live stream, by the way. This is what we do. There's not a lot of news going on right now. Typically, we've got something of substance to talk about. There's nothing right now. There's the election. Is it rigged? No. There you have it. Covered that. Oh boy, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, this was a real thing.
First I'm gonna bother everybody I meet, then I'll probably go home and get drunk.
Yeah, a little different than what I remember. I'll probably get a copyright sting for that. But yeah, that was a real thing. Tippy Turtle was kind of funny. Used to be. Now the digital shorts are the best thing on SNL. If you want to be entertained on SNL, used to be the cartoons. What were they called? TV Funhouse Workshop? TV Funhouse, I think. Was it that? Was it TV Funhouse? What was it? What were they called? Hold on. Wow, a lot of advertising at the end of this. The Ambiguously Gay Duo, there was that for a while. But it didn't look like that was TV Funhouse, or maybe they just chopped it so they could put it in their advertisement. I don't know. And then, what was the other one? Larry Lobster? Did Cousin Larry leave already? Lobster. No, Larry. Oh, okay. So that's right. Eddie Murphy did a thing with a live lobster. It was like a Pardon Thanksgiving turkey thing. Okay, so I can't watch it. I'll get dinged for that for sure. But there was that. Now I kind of want lobster, and I am. I guess all lobsters are named Larry, because there's even a Larry Lobster song.
I crawl around the sea and laugh.
By the way, if you want to make money on the YouTubes, children's programming, cartoons, simple animation, because kids will watch them over and over and over and over again. Most of the top 20 YouTube channels are actually kids channels. It's a whole, if you don't have kids, it's this whole world you're completely unaware of, but it makes bank for YouTube. Serious bank, and it makes bank for the people that do it. I've actually had a couple of auditions for voices for a couple of projects like that. But most of the time what they do is they just like do it themselves. Or I wish I could animate things. Deep Thoughts, I remember Deep Thoughts. Those are great. Let's see if we can find a Deep Thought by Jack Handy. Here we go. We'll just play one so we don't get a copyright strike. Maybe or maybe not. Here we go. Play this.
Thoughts by... The wise man can pick up a grain of sand and envision a whole universe. But the stupid man will just lay down on some seaweed and roll around until he's completely draped in it. Then he'll stand up and go, "Hey, I'm Vine Man."
Just so absurd, but yeah, he would. That was early Twitter is what that was. Okay. All right. I think that's, did we say we were going to cover anything else today? Something about Sarah Cooper, Mark Hamill. Oh, this is mostly. Oh yeah, Foo Fighters. Good times. This is all me just talking in my head. This has nothing. Hey, if you haven't heard the soundtrack for Dear Kevin Handsome, it's a musical about a kid committing suicide or something. Anyway, it's a good soundtrack. So look up Dear Kevin Handsome. Evan Hansen. Dear Evan Hansen. It's a good thing. I did see Randy Quaid show. Oh, that's right. There's some stuff on Twitter we could watch. What was that? A 1 minute and 3 second press conference. Just freaking ridiculous. Just want to see Jim Carrey 1,000 years ago?
Line like sales or something, you know, I could be a...
God, he was young. Oh, we all were. Russian Doll on Netflix, I did watch it. It's just one season, right? They didn't do 2 seasons of the Russian Doll. This is cute. I'll show you. The cat is reading To Kill a Mockingbird and saying, "What the fuck? This book has absolutely no information on killing birds." What else can I tell you about the Twitters tonight? Oh, let's just check in on Asen here. Look at that. That's a pretty bird. I didn't realize they were actually blue and pink like the Chantrix bird right there. Or Chantix? Chantix? Oh. It's a bad joke that I'm not even going to share with you. Let's take a look at what Asen's doing. There he is. One tweet in the last hour, so nothing big going on. Let's see. Public hearings in a Wyndham Hotel in Gettysburg, Virginia. What? What's going on? Here we go.
Also announced excitedly today that there's going to be what they're calling a hearing by the Pennsylvania State Senate on the conduct of the presidential election in Pennsylvania. Ooh, a legislative...
Oh, and we'll be covering those, by the way, on the live stream when they actually have these hearings and they're saying we're going to hear from all these witnesses and this subpoenas and the affidavits and it's going to be very courty. It's going to be really, really courty, guys. So we'll cover that when it happens live.
Hearing, you say, in Pennsylvania, even after they've already just certified the vote there? It was actually in the parking lot of the Four Seasons Landscaping Company out by the crematorium and the porn store. Well, same kind of thing here. They're calling it a Pennsylvania State Senate hearing. But this legislative hearing is not at the Pennsylvania State Senate. It's not at the legislature. It's not even in the capital city. It's just Republicans in Pennsylvania going to a hotel in Gettysburg, the Wyndham Hotel, unless perhaps it's Wyndham Total Landscaping. And at the hotel, they're going to hear a presentation from Rudy Giuliani. Sponsored by Grecian Formula.
It's not even going to be in the state buildings. It's just all so ridiculous. Yeah, we'll stop listening to it right there, but I wanted to hear that. Let's go see if there's anything else that's going on tonight.
Changed Starbucks to order a beverage called a mocha frappuccino. This morning,
this guy's parody of Tucker Carlson.
I went to the popular American coffee chain Starbucks to order a beverage called a mocha frappuccino. It's magnificent. But when I went to the drive-thru window, what they gave me was anything but that. It was actually a normal iced coffee. Now, the liberal media won't tell you this, but a normal iced coffee and a mocha frappuccino taste quite different. I suspect there was some foul play given the fact that I'm a supporter of President Trump. And I'm sad to see that Starbucks has been converted to a liberal media prop. This morning I went to the popular...
That's pretty good imitation.
Trying to hang on to their seats and preserve the GOP's majority in...
This, we were talking about this earlier. We can actually watch this because this is interesting. Let me go back to Brett Baer here. And we'll find that because that was actually really interesting. He did an interview with Mike Pompeo that was just boring. Just really boring. Talking about how the Trump fans are turning on Georgia. So let's get to that because that's interesting to watch here. Here we go. Go ahead.
Inmate Scott Peterson's name was one of more than 35,000 inmate names used to file for unemployment benefits. Investigators say more than 20,000 of those bogus claims were paid. The two senators from Georgia trying to hang on to their seats and preserve the GOP's majority in the Senate chamber are in a tough spot tonight. They're getting hammered from some in their own party over President Trump's election challenge. Correspondent Jonathan Serra reports tonight from Atlanta.
On a bus tour across Georgia with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, David Perdue makes the case for a Republican firewall against the radical left. But he and fellow Georgia Senator Kelly Loeffler face discontent within their own party from Trump supporters who believe the president's still unproven allegations of widespread voter fraud.
What are you doing to help Donald Trump in this fraud case?
Well, I'm going to tell you that in a minute. I'll be glad to help you with that. Well, I'll tell you that in a second. We call for the resignation of our Secretary of State's what we did.
If by January Trump is not president, are Trump's base, are they going to show up for the senators? The Republicans have got to figure out a way to make Trump happy and quickly. It's ridiculous. Because Trump's base, without Trump's base, keep in mind, Trump didn't win the popular vote this time. Didn't win the popular vote last time. Republican didn't win the popular vote the time before. Or the time before. They did the time before, but barely. Then not the time before that, not the time before that, not the time before that, not the time before that. Republicans haven't won the popular vote more than once in the last 8 elections. Once. That cannot keep up. You can't keep wishing that your party loses a popular vote, but then somehow squeaks in the Electoral College. That did happen in 2016 because Trump got a bunch of people out there that hadn't bothered to get involved before. But those same people are now disillusioned with Fox News and the Republican Party because they're not fixing this. Where's Bill Barr? Where's Durham? Why are we not in charge anymore?
We're calling for lawsuits right now. We're doing a lot.
But some of the president's supporters want Georgia's Republican leaders to do more to challenge the results. As Georgia today begins a statewide machine recount at the request of the Trump campaign, Democratic Senate candidates Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff are criticizing GOP.
Oh, by the way, I support Jon Ossoff because his yard signs say vote your Ossoff, which I love.
Leaders for pandering to conspiracy theories about the election.
I'm not sure about the impact on turnout, but the disruption of an orderly transfer of power to the new administration has already done damage to the response to this pandemic and the response to the economic crisis.
Stacey Abrams and other influential Georgia Democrats are tweeting links to the state's official absentee ballot request form. Elections officials say more than 760,000 Georgians have already requested absentee ballots. That's more than 3 times the number requested during the 2018 election. Brett?
Jonathan Sarah in Atlanta. Jonathan, thanks. Up next, the panel on President Trump's transition decision and the new...
Your homework, if you choose to accept it, for extra credit, will be to figure out the best way to help the Senate election in Georgia. Let me know what you think. I don't even know what's going on tomorrow, but they did say that they were going to have public hearings tomorrow, and that might be what the Rachel thing was about. Hold on, let me see if I can dig that up, and we can kind of get, we can gauge. Oh, he just retweeted that. Here it is. Okay, so this is going to be... will be held Wednesday, November 25th in Gettysburg. That is tomorrow, right? Don't ask Charlie Kirk, but it should, yeah. In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where each participating senator will give a 5-minute opening statement. Oh, so not all the senators. I thought, like, oh, wait a minute. Are all the senators in Pennsylvania where the election's already been certified? Are they going to show up and speak? Okay, so they'll have X number of senators who show up and say something in this parking lot or hotel or whatever it is. It doesn't give us a time, so when I hear it, I'll put it up on the YouTube, and then we'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Okay, so don't join Parler, by the way, because they just got breached. And all your personal information is out there. I never tried to get certified on Parler. I just signed up and said, this is my username, don't take it. I was on there once and perused around for about 10 minutes. So boring. There's no discussion. Not that there's a whole bunch of discussion on YouTube, except, hey, that can't happen because Georgia counted all the paper votes, so we know the Dominion machines worked and the signatures have been separated. Oh, yeah, well, you can set the machines, you can set the computers to recognize the signatures at 20%. So don't tell me there's not an election fraud. Okay, but Georgia uses a hand count for all this. They look at it. They don't use a computer for signature verification. You're thinking of Nevada. People are idiots. All right. Grassley's still alive as far as everybody knows. Wow, that would throw things. If Grassley passed away, how do they... Hold on. We can find out. Let's look up Mr. Grassley here. Okay. Chuck E. Cheese. No, that's funny. He doesn't even come up. Yeah, I know, because he is actually right behind Pelosi in the line of succession. Succession. It's a joke. How do they appoint a new senator in Iowa is the question. Let's find out. Filling the vacancy in Iowa. There it is. Ballotpedia is a wonderful source, by the way. Okay, and where is it? Sometimes it's a legislature, sometimes it's appointed by governor. Where? I'm looking. I guess let's look under U.S. Senate. It's all election updates. This is not giving me the answer quickly. Give me a second here. Change my Google search a little bit. Okay. Vacancies in the United States Senate. This is NCLS. Let's go to Iowa. It appears to be regular. Okay, so the governor. You serve the remaining of the term, and then at the general election, you get fixed. I don't know when any TV shows are coming back. Oh, this is exciting news. The show that Kevin Lee Daughter did, Saved by the Bell, is correct. I think it comes out tomorrow on the Peacock. So I'll let you guys know. She told me it's tomorrow or the next day or something like that. Then she asked, how do I watch Peacock? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it exists. All right, guys. I think that's enough for tonight. That was an hour and 20 minutes of show for literally 2.5 minutes of actual footage. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's all go watch Rachel on our own because we can't watch it together, guys. Guys, have a good night. And tomorrow, Rudy Galooly.
Kevin, thanks for that.